Welcome back to Custom Made in New York. I'm your host, Ravin Joseph, and we are going to talk about affirmations. This is episode number 3. So, the story of affirmations, I tried to find some information about where affirmations even came from, and I couldn't find much history, but I did see the story. I don't know how accurate it is because I couldn't find any other websites to corroborate this information, but I thought it was pretty interesting to start with. It was found online on the etymology dictionary. This says the father of affirmations is considered by many to be the French psychologist and pharmacist Emile Coué. In the early 20th century, Coué noticed that when he told his patients how effective a potion was as he gave it to them, the results were much better than if he had said nothing. So this reminds me of a time where I used to think I was the strongest little kid in the world because I ate spinach. And I think it's more so because I believed it was my thoughts that made me think those things and made me feel like I was stronger because I ate spinach. And it wasn't necessarily the spinach. It was just my own thoughts and manifesting into something. And that was only because I don't know if you know of Popeye or remember Popeye. Yeah. When I used to watch Popeye, I used to eat spinach. And when I used to watch Bugs Bunny, I used to run into the refrigerator and eat carrots. Yeah. And I thought that I was the strongest person in the world. Nobody could tell me anything. Even though I was skinny as a toothpick, it didn't matter. But again, this is about affirmations and affirming our truth. So an affirmation is asserting something as true. So if we're saying affirmations to ourselves, we are manifesting it into the world. And I really started using affirmations when I started to fall off with meditation. I started meditating back, I think, in 2014. I went on this spiritual retreat and I learned about what is called Raja Yoga. And it started in India. And it's a meditation practice where you are being still and you're communicating with God. Some things really stuck out to me during those retreats that I used to go to. And it kind of like changed my life and changed the way I see things. One of the things that stuck out to me is that we are all souls and we are born without sin and with all the virtues, all the resources that we need. We really don't need to find what we need in ourselves anywhere else. It's already there. But the issue is that we've had so many experiences since our birth, which are called sanskars, that we forget who we are. And the purpose of meditating is to remember who we are. And we all are born with gentleness, gratitude, happiness, humility. And along the way, ladies, we get into these situations and like we become angry, we become bitter. And it's important for us to meditate and connect with God to remove those memories or sanskars or reverse them and just to be still and remember who we are. Before I started with my affirmations, I actually was really good at meditating. When I first started, I remember I couldn't sit still for 3 minutes. Like my mind just kept going. It would not be still. And over time, I'm able to sit for about 20 minutes. I was doing really well. I felt a difference mentally. I felt a difference in the way I responded to situations. Another thing that stuck out to me is like our life is a movie and like we're watching it. We're here for a purpose. Our purpose is to serve others. And so like we're watching the movies and we're paying attention to, we play a role. So you shouldn't overreact because this is just a temporary space, right? So that also stuck out to me. Like when I react to certain things, I try not to overreact because I know like this too shall pass. But I got into the habit of meditating as a part of my daily practice, and times changed, my schedule changed, and so I didn't have time. And so I switched over to affirmations that have really helped me to remember. And one of the mantras that was used in the retreat that I attended was Shanti. And Shanti means I am peace. So just me saying those two words or it means it's also a greeting. Could say good day, like it's like a soul to soul greeting of hello. But when you say that, you remember your soul, and then you remember, you start to think like, I'm a soul. You know what that means. You know that you are good. You know that you are patient. You know that you are loved. You know that you are kind. You know that you're peace, right? It's like just two words to remember who you are. And so I encourage you to find or create a mantra or an affirmation that will help you to remember that you're great, that you're awesome. I know the way I created my mantra, my affirmation was I am peace when I first started, but my mantra was a little bit longer. And it was to remind me that because I don't have patience like that. I've gotten a lot better with it over the years. I can say that for a fact. But I would say I treat myself and others with patience and kindness in every situation. And especially dealing with kids, you have to have a lot of patience. So just saying that, repeating it in the morning when I wake up, whenever I feel like somebody's trying me, again, I'm a teacher, so high school teacher, somebody's trying me, that happens a lot. I have to remind myself that I'm patient, I'm kind, right? So that it brings me back to being grounded. It brings me back to not be overreacting, and being better overall. So we can say that we are not those things that we're saying we are, but just to change your mindset, it starts with just affirmations. Like, we've been through so many experiences that for me personally, my biggest challenge was myself. Like, it wasn't it wasn't anybody around me. It wasn't the TV. It wasn't anybody. Like, my biggest challenge was myself. So affirmations, I mean, in my head, I used to not say nice things to myself, but I didn't even realize it. It was so normal to me that I wasn't being nice to myself. I would be the biggest supporter to somebody else, but to myself, I was the worst. So like realizing that and like changing my thoughts, anytime something comes up that's negative, I would check myself and change it to positive. And it's interesting that I even would allow myself to do that, because when I'm in the room with somebody that's negative, when I say I get irritated, I get irritated. Like, there's this one colleague that loves to complain. And it's like I have to take him in doses. Like, I can't sit here, like, it's just like, please shush. Please shut the up. Please. You're extremely annoying. But I don't know how to say it without saying you're annoying, because it's annoying. So I just remove myself, like, oh, that's too bad. Or I'll say something to like try to be positive or encouraging, but it's just how some people are. How he is on the outside is how I am on the inside. Yeah, it's that bad. So I really had to change my thoughts, and I started with affirmations. I started with something really simple just to remind me of who I am. So what do you think makes you powerful, or what do you think you need in times of stress or anything that would keep you grounded? That should be something that you affirm for yourself. What makes you feel confident? What makes you feel powerful? Are you thinking money too? Well, write it down. Make it a mantra. It doesn't have to be long. It just be a sentence or two or three, whatever's comfortable to you, but it has to speak to your experiences and be relevant to what's important to you, what you value. You should be able to use it when you're stressed, even in the morning, just to remind yourself, even the morning when you're saying your prayers. Like, every morning now when I pray, I do say my affirmations as well. It's become part of my daily routine. And at night before I go to sleep, I do this thing where I say, thank you, Lord, when I wake up in the morning. I don't know why I started it or when I started it, but I do that. It's weird. And I wonder why, like, but I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's just like, where did that come from? I do remember my mom used to have her own mantras, and they were derived from the Bible. If I told this woman something, she would respond with the Bible verse. I swear she like memorized the whole Bible if you asked me. Like, if I was stressed, about something I needed, she'll be like, God would provide, and it would come true. So if you are spiritual and you have a comfortable relationship with God, maybe you should do that. Like, look at the Bible scriptures, look in the Bible app and see what you can use, what verse resonates with you or remind you. Like, On my wall right now, I have, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. It's a reminder because I can't do it by myself. I know I need the Lord's help, and I know He's with me all the time. And sometimes I forget and I become stressed out, and then I have to remind myself, wait, I'm not in this by myself, right? I have God on my side. I'll be good. I'll let you have a minute now to gather your thoughts. Whatever comes to mind, write it down, whether it's just a word, a phrase. Go for it. So let me know, what is your affirmation? What are you stepping into for this new decade? What are you affirming over your life? What are you welcoming into your life? What mantra have you created for yourself, or do you want to create for yourself? Always remember who you are and to keep your truth at the forefront. Recite those mantras. Comment on my Instagram page, Custom Made in New York. Let me know what you think. I will be back next week. Thank you for listening. Good luck.